video, we're going to go over how to create a litter. The first thing I'm going to do is log into ProLitter. And once I'm in the dashboard, you're going to see on the left-hand side a tab called Litters. I'm going to click Litters and we're going to click Create Litter. The first thing we're going to have to do is give our litter a name. So you're going to want to pay attention to the rules here. They will help you by choosing the correct name and what to do and what not to do. So this is going to be an example litter. So I'm just going to make this a moose example litter. And then we have to choose the breed. So in this case, it'll be a golden retriever. Now, here's where we need to select the sire and the dam. These two dogs must have already been added into your ProLitter account or someone else's ProLitter account. You can create litters with dogs owned by other people, but they must be added to ProLitter before you can do that. So let's go ahead. I'm going to select a sire, and we'll say this is going to be Adirondack Marty Moose, and I'm going to select the dam, and I'll choose Mountain Magnolia Moose, and then I'll hit next. Okay, so here is our first glimpse at a brand new litter page. And you'll notice this is a pro account. In other words, it's a master account. Any master level accounts will get a pro badge on various pages. You'll see you have the name of the litter here, Moose Example Litter. And that's why you want to make sure you name your litter something appropriate. You don't want to give it some weird, obscure name because it will be visible to the public and it also will be the access URL for this litter. So if we scroll down, we can see that we have both the sire and the dam that we selected to be as part of this litter, and all their data is already added to the system because we've already added that information individually per dog. Now let's say, for example, one of these dogs did not have their health clearances. We would see a bright orange warning here that this dog does not have health clearances. It's very important to note that. So moving along, we're also going to see that we have an area to add a description. The litter gallery, this can literally be anything. It could be photos of the parent dogs. It can be photos of the puppies if they've already been born. And if you create your litter prior to the birth of the puppies, you can always come back and add some of these photos later. In fact, creating a litter on ProLitter is probably ideal to create something ahead of time. That way people can discover your litter before your litter is born. That way you're filling up your wait list quicker. Further on here, we have what's called the litter type. So litter type is important for when it comes to search. You'll be able to select 4 different types, which include hunting, agility, obedience, pet. There are various types of things that you can select as being the litter type. On this side, you'll see we have our dog breeding page. Now this is where we call out to the actual breeder. Who is the breeder of this litter? Well, Moose Golden Retrievers is the breeder. The user could click on Moose Golden Retrievers and go to their page. And at this point, now that we've created this litter, that litter will show up on our breeding page. Further on, if we scroll, we can actually see that our pedigree snapshot has been filled out for us. That's because we've filled out the pedigrees for each of these individual dogs. So there's nothing more that we have to do there. And you can see as well that our pedigree snapshot gives us icons for health clearances and titles for the various dogs that are built up from this litter. So if we look at our edit page, we can see a few things that we can change here. What we can change here are the gender. So what gender is after your pups are born, we can add the number of males and females that were either born or that are available. So let's say we're going to have 3 males and 4 females. Sounds like a good balanced litter. So after I hit save, you'll see we now have 3 males and 4 females. So what else can we do in here? So we have dates. All right, great. So now we can add a whelped date. So assuming that your pups are already born, we can go ahead and select a date. So I'll select a date prior to today. And now we're going to select a date when these pups are ready to go home. So I will select a date in the future and just hit save. Now that our page is refreshed, we can now see we have a whelped and ready date. Awesome. We can also add the location. Now the location is different from your breeder page and your dog's page because the litter may be in a different location. Maybe the dam lives in a different location or whatnot. So we give you the option to specify the location. Now it's very important that you actually use this feature because this will help you when people are looking for litters in a certain area. So if I'm looking for litters in New York State, this litter will pop up as long as I have New York State added. So let's go ahead and do that now. I'll go to location. The street is never used, but the city and state are. So I'll put Greenfield Center, New York. And I'll add the zip code and I'll hit save. So what else do we have here? If I click back on the edit menu, we have description, location, which we already did location, and pricing. So I'll go ahead and I'm going to click pricing. So now pricing is completely optional, but let's say you wanted to add a price for these pups to give your customers a heads up about what things cost. So let's say these pups are $2,500. We can hit save. And now we have a list price here of $2,500. And underneath that, we have an inquiry button. So if I were to hit inquire, now any user that comes in here and fills out this form will submit their data direct to you. Once that happens, ProLitter is no longer part of the equation. At that point, it's up to you to then respond directly to your customer. Some people will opt to leave the price off. So if that's the case, you can go ahead back in here and just remove your price and hit save. And if you take off the price, you'll see that it just says to be determined for the price. Okay, let's go ahead and do the type. I'll just demo that quick. So we're gonna come here and go line type. And you can see, select 4 temperament types that best match this litter. And now you'll see these 4 litter types have been added. So they're visually there, but they also will help when it comes to search to help people find dogs that best fit their criteria. So it's very important you add that. The description, you can add that. Again, anything you want there. And then again, the litter gallery. If you have a master level account, then you can add up to 15 photos to your gallery. And that's it. It's literally that simple to create a litter in ProLitter.com.